He's a liar. He's a liar. He's a liar.
Yo, yo, yo! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the ACW Newscast. I am Hakeem Johnson, your ACW commentator as always, and we are down here today to talk about a lot of things that went down last night, a lot of things that have went down also this morning. So we've got a lot to talk about. I was originally going to schedule this newscast for tomorrow, but after the huge reaction that came out from High Voltage last night, the news that is going around all over social media from the WWE, Impact, and other places in between, I felt it was probably necessary more than now to just do the newscast tonight and just get that done here. And I know a lot of people want to talk about what happened last night, what's been happening this morning around professional wrestling circles. So we're going to get into all of that today. I do want to say also as well that after the Q&A portion of this newscast tonight, make sure you stick around. I do have a pretty big announcement to make that I'm proud of, but it's ACW related first of all, so nothing bad. But but I do have a huge announcement. So just stay tuned after the Q&A portion of this newscast. So let's get into it. No more stalling. Let's talk about the mega event that was High Voltage last night. First things first, I want to be able to say, I want to thank everybody that joined the live stream last night. You guys continue to amaze me every time. Not only that we do a live stream, that we just be able to watch a mega event and just watch where ACW used to be and where it is now. It truly amazes me, for the 10 years that I've been doing this, how far ACW truly has gone within not just virtual wrestling, but just for everybody personally. And for that, I thank each and every one of you that did join the live stream, that did watch with me. For those that weren't able to watch, that's fine. ACW High Voltage is now available at the Mega Events channel. So if you do want to watch High Voltage, if you missed the live stream, High Voltage is now available in the Mega Events channel. Make sure you go ahead and watch it whenever you can. But with that said, I'm just stalling at this point. I know you guys just want me to talk about the event itself, right? So we're going to run down every single match that happened at High Voltage, all the moments, all the matches, my thoughts, what you guys thought about it. We'll go through the whole gamut, if you will. So, first things first, we're going to start with the opening contest of High Voltage. It was the number one contendership match for the television title. It was the God of Muay Thai Sagat going one-on-one against Ichigo Kurosaki, the Soul Reaper. And this match here, it showcased why Ichigo and Sagat were handpicked personally by Roger Smith, general manager of Excel. There's a reason why he handpicked these two specifically, because you saw in that matchup the type of talent and effort that both of them gave. And quite frankly, a lot of people didn't even know fully who would win that match, who would be next in line for a television title shot. Sagat and Ichigo Kurosaki, they went back and forth. There was a lot of close pinfalls. There was a lot of drama being involved in that matchup. Ichigo hitting that Soul Reaper, I thought he almost had it. But when he went for a second attempt at that Soul Reaper, Sagat was able to escape it and then turn it into a Tiger Bomb. He gets the 1-2-3, and Sagat now is officially the number one contender for the television championship, a title that we will discuss later on in this newscast. But Sagat is the number one contender. Sagat has never been able to win a singles title throughout his entire ACW career. This is a chance for him right here and right now to be able to get an opportunity and see where he can go with it, if he can run with the ball and try to take that opportunity, because I don't mean to disrespect Sagat. Sagat's my, and here, and let me just tell you guys this now if you don't know already. Sagat's my favorite character from Street Fighter. He's been my favorite character from Street Fighter, okay? That said, I have to be honest, Sagat clearly has not been able to capitalize what he can really show. You know, Sagat is really talented, but for all that talent, he's never able to capitalize on winning something other than the King of Elite back in 2011. He did win that, and he almost won it this year's King of Elite tournament as well. But he hasn't been able to win a physical title, whether that be a world title, a television title, an intercontinental title. He's never been able to do it. Here's the chance for him right here and right now to face the television champion and win that title. But then again, there's a lot of consequences that go for going after that television title shot, and we will get to that television title match in a few moments. But Sagat is your winner. Let me see. Jay Blacko says Sagat versus Joe is going to be lit. Yeah, I mean everyone. That's anyone that knows about those two and their Muay Thai experiences. They know what they're expecting. As a matter of fact, Sagat was the one that beat Joe Higashi at the quarterfinals of the the semifinals of the Elite Tournament of this year. So it will be a revenge game, if you will, for Joe Higashi, and pretty much more of a redemption for Sagat. So Sagat's the winner here. We're gonna find out if Sagat can truly capitalize. But next up on the moment here, it was Samus Aran was able to come out to the ring. Now, a little bit of backstory here. Everyone knows the rivalry between Samus and Revy at this point. I don't think I need to overview the whole rivalry. You pretty much know it at this point. All I will say is that last season, Revy defeated Samus the last time they had a match. Samus went ballistic and completely took out Revy. So therefore, Revy came back last month at ACW Fusion to confront and attack Samus. And then Revy earlier this week at ACW Direct on an interview backstage, she said that if Samus had any guts, she will confront her at High Voltage. Well, it looks like Samus took Revy's challenge to heart. She came out to the ring. She feels that her career in virtual wrestling, CAW, whatever you want to call it, she feels that her career in this industry is cemented, that she doesn't need to prove anything to nobody. Pretty much the entire fan base here is trying not to prove anything here. And Samus is saying she continues to be disrespected, and that disrespect is the reason why she doesn't need us. That she doesn't need the fans to help her or to support her. She doesn't need our help. And she feels wrong because Revy is just that gnat, in her words, that will simply not go away. So Samus made a bombshell. Samus did make a bombshell when she came out. She stated that at Excel number 83, that'll be in 3 weeks. 3 weeks time at Excel 83, it will be Samus versus Revy one more time. They will go at it one more time, and it will be in a last glamour standing match. It's basically another name to say a last man standing match. But that's exactly what we're going to be getting in 3 weeks' time at Excel 83. It will be Samus Revy one more time in a last glamour standing match. There will be no disqualification. There will be no countouts. You already know the history. You already know the intensity. You already know the personal heat between Revy and Samus. This match is going to be insane if previous matches between these two are any indication. Revy came out and didn't even say a word, just smashed Samus with that microphone, and boy, those two ladies went at it. So, we will see where this feud will finally end. We will see if Samus can get redemption, because the funny thing about it is that Samus, at Animania 3 2 seasons ago, at the direct episode of Animania 3, she announced that she was a part of the Glamour X division, and then it was a masked Revy that attacked Samus to begin this whole rivalry. It's just weird how the tides have turned ever since that moment. But we will see if Samus can be able to finally get rid of, quote-unquote, this gnat that's been on her back, or will Revy, coming back last month, be meaning a little bit more, and she's able to take out Samus once and for all. So that's going to be a big match coming up at Excel 83. That is in 3 weeks' time. So look out for that. Second matchup on the card. The I Quit matchup, it was between Neji Ayuga and Rock Lee, former tag team partners, former best friends, dude. Former best friends. And I still kind of get hung up on the fact that this man Samus, sorry Sam, I'm still on that previous segment, that this man Neji turned his back on Rock Lee at Animania 4 when they were forced to disband Team Guy. And beat him down so bad, Rock Lee was in injury reserve for a while. And he just came back recently. Now, Rock Lee had a personal doctor that said he was cleared to come back to ACW. Although our ACW doctors did not clear him per se, Rock Lee willingly, insistently said that he wanted to do this match with Neji Ayuga at High Voltage in the I Quit match. So Roger Smith allowed it under his own expense. Meaning, whatever you do out there, do not blame ACW management if you get really hurt, knowing that you're not supposed to be cleared to do this match. So, with that said, Rock Lee and Neji Ayuga, you can feel the tension between these two. You can feel the hurt that Rock Lee felt, and you can feel the the anger and the chip on his shoulder that Neji had throughout that match. Because it is true, Neji Ayuga did come to ACW before Rock Lee did. It was actually Neji that brought in Rock Lee to form Tegan Guy in ACW way back in, I believe, 07, 08. So, Neji really was showcasing his skills. A lot of people forget, and I know he said it, and I don't know if I necessarily agree with it, but during that tag team, people really forgot that Neji Ayuga usually can handle his own. He can really handle his own kind of talent. He can really handle himself. And he showcased why he is the master of kicks. I don't know how many times he went for a knee strike on Rock Lee. I cringed each and every single time Neji Ayuga did a knee onto Rock Lee. But both men went at it. Both men were submitting towards each other. Both men were just going at it, shouting out, "Quit! Quit! Quit! No, you quit! You quit!" And they both didn't give up until the very end when Rock Lee just super kicks Neji Ayuga, busted him open, a little bit of revenge for Animania 4, and then set him up for the Cloverleaf. Neji held on as long as he could. Granted to Neji, all credit to him. Neji held on for as long as he could. But at the end of the day, Neji Ayuga was forced to say the two most humiliating words any virtual/pro wrestler can ever say in their career: "I quit." And that's exactly what Neji Ayuga said. Neji Ayuga quit. Rock Lee is victorious at High Voltage 2017. Now you would think, what would be next between these two, Neji and Rock Lee? Well, here's the thing. A little bit later into the show, Neji Ayuga was backstage. He was trying to leave the show. General Manager Roger Smith pretty much stopped him and said, "Where are you going? The show's not over yet." Neji Ayuga basically went on a rant and said, "Look, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of being disrespected by this management. You, Roger Smith, are not fit to be general manager. I have been busting my ass for all these 10 years, and everybody just cares about Rock Lee instead of me. AKA, I'm done. I quit." And there you have it. Neji Ayuga pretty much walked out from High Voltage before the show even ended and pretty much quit on the spot. We can confirm to you that earlier today that Roger Smith did grant Neji Ayuga his release from ACW Excel. Now, a lot of rumors are speculating, is Neji done for good? Is Neji going to maybe go to Impulse? Is he just done with ACW, period? Is he taking a sabbatical? Who knows? But what we can tell you, we can confirm it here tonight on the newscast, that Roger Smith did grant Neji Ayuga his release from Excel. That did happen earlier this morning. So there you have it with that for anyone that was asking if there was any debate or what really happened. So we'll find out where this leads. We'll see if Rock Lee can keep this momentum going. We don't know what Neji's going to do if he does leave ACW. I do wish him the best in his future endeavors. And I usually hate that line because certain people just like to ruin it for others. And we will get to that particular future endeavors line on another topic in this newscast. But after that, the main event, and we'll get to the main event too of this show later. But this mega event, High Voltage, was pretty much kicking ass so far within the first hour, right? But nothing, and I mean nothing, could prepare anybody for the next matchup. Match number 4, Best of 7 series. Juri Sanada versus Reiko Hinomoto. I said this on the live stream during this match, but this to me is one of the top 5 best matches, personally and professionally, that I've ever done, that I've ever seen, that I've ever recorded. I love this match. I love this match because it's the type of match that is needed. It's the type of match that every fan could love, could really get invested into, that can really have that emotional attachment to. It was basically a puro match towards the American crowd here. You gotta understand, Juri Sanada and Reiko Hinomoto, before ACW, period, they've wrestled around the Japanese wrestling circuit. They know that type of style. They have been able to study and be involved in that style. So this type of match has been normal for them. And I saw a lot of people last night call it another match of the year contender for ACW and pretty much maybe for CAW, period. Telling you, ACW so far, there's a lot of matches that people are loving this season, and we're not even close to done with it. So that should tell you something. But Reiko Hinamoto and Juri Sonata, to me, you can say I'm biased or whatever, I really don't care. Reiko Hinamoto and Juri Sonata, to me, are the two best female wrestlers in virtual wrestling today. Period. Period. Nobody can just sit there and watch that match and tell me that they don't have a place at the top, if not they're the top two in this industry. And it's funny. Juri Sonata leads the series 2-1 at this point. Before the match even began, Reiko tried shaking Juri's hand and pulled it away. Juri slaps Reiko, and that tells you how personal this series has gotten. And yeah, they can say that they respected each other, and they did after the match. But any athlete knows that when it's competition time, there is no friendship. There is no friendly banter. There is no cuddling up. When it's competition time, you're looking to rip off that person's head that's right across from you. Period. And you saw that in this matchup. Every turn, every twist, every move counted in that match. Reiko Hinamoto having her leg pretty much non-existent, and yet she still kept fighting. Juri Sonata, mad that she couldn't sweep here in the high voltage mega event, but was looking to expand the lead by being even more aggressive than she has been in this series. This was a work of art. And I don't know who said this on the live stream as well during this match, but I can definitely see the comparison. This did seem like a parallel to Tanahashi and Okada in that sense. It did seem like, there is a certain debate on who is the true face of the Glamour X division, aka who is the quote-unquote ace of the division. And I can't think of any two better participants in that discussion than Reiko and Juri. Reiko Hinamoto, Glamour X champion, has held that. Ironically enough, Reiko Hinamoto at the last High Voltage last season became Glamour X champion, winning that title after chasing it for so long. And here she is here tonight, fighting against Juri Sonata, an opponent she has never faced the likes of which that level was. I have no idea. I didn't even know who was going to win that match. I didn't even know. It was going back and forth. I was watching with you guys as a fan. Yeah, I was commentating, but I was just sitting back at the time just watching as a fan like, oh my god. Oh my goodness. Are you serious? That's not a 3? It was amazing. It was awesome. A lot of times people like to do this is awesome chant, and that gets annoying because it gets watered down, and a lot of matches really don't deserve that chant. But this match here, that is what the This Is Awesome chant meant in the first place. Because it's not always about the in-ring work, which we got a lot of that anyways in this matchup. But this match meant so much more that just saying it was just a great match would be an insult to that match. It would be an insult to simply just call it a great match. It was a great story. It was a great experience. It was just a great moment, period. Reiko Hinamoto wins the match with that sunrise suplex, catching Juri once again, twice back to back. And now Reiko Hinamoto, who was down 2-0 after the second match of the series, now she has come back and she has tied this series. She made the comeback of all comebacks when her Glamour X title reign was in jeopardy and made the comeback. And now the series is tied 2 apiece. I clapped last night. I'm going to clap again because that match set the standard of what the Glamour X division is. When I first started the Glamour X division, I wanted the division to be different, not just from the WWE's Divas or the TNA Knockouts or whatever independent wrestling promotion that had women in wrestling. I was trying to divert myself away from also other colleagues that do women wrestling. Because to me, it's not just about in-ring work, which is also important, but it's about everything else that incorporates it. And that's what the Glamour X division is all about. It's about every single style all around the world competing in the division to see who the best of the best is. And you saw the example. And now Reiko and Juri is the standard. that everybody should be able to see at this point forward. Anyone that's calling this the match of the year, I'm not going to argue with you. I'm really not going to argue with you because it's got an argument. It probably is the match of the year so far here in ACW in 2017. But yeah, next week is Excel number 81, and Jury and Reiko will go at it once again for match number 5. So we will find out who will break that tie and have another slight lead in that series. We will find out truly as we get closer. So now we have a match number 5, and we do have a match number 6 as well. Because whoever wins match number 5 has a chance to close that match number 6. Or if we're tied again by match number 6, we will go to sudden death match number 7. So we will find out who really reigns supreme in the Glamour X division, who will walk out Glamour X champion once this series is over. So there you have it, Reiko Hinomoto and Jerry Sonata putting on a modern classic of epic proportions at High Voltage 2017. And by the way, Jerry Sonata, for those that don't know, will be wrestling Sakura Hagiwara in a 30-minute Iron Woman match at DCA Revelations 3, the final night of DCA Revelations 3. Make sure you all watch it here tonight. Jerry Sonata probably is aching really bad, probably is not in the best of shapes to fight Sakura, who probably will be more healthy compared to Jerry Sonata. But make sure you all do watch that 30-woman Iron Man match. And honestly, watch the whole event anyway. If you haven't even watched, the first 2 nights, which you should do anyways. But this third night in particular, this is the season finale of DCA's season this year. Make sure you guys watch Revelations 3 here tonight. So make sure you guys do that. Shout out to D-Wall, by the way. D-Wall and I, making things work with Jerry Sonata coming into DCA and doing some things there. Revy, obviously making her presence the past couple of months at DCA. The Glamour X division is growing. The Glamour X division is expanding everywhere in virtual wrestling, and it's pretty amazing to see. And who knows, maybe the Glamour X division will expand even further down the road. But I'll leave it at that for you to decide. But anyways, we need to mention a little bit here as well that during the show, General Esdeath and Akumi Mito, Roger Smith's assistant, had a little bit of a heated discussion backstage. We couldn't hear any audio, obviously, but it was just weird, just how that went down. And I don't know what that was about. It just didn't look as like Esdeath was happy. That's all I'm going to say about that. So then we get to another great match, another personal match too at High Voltage 2017. Title versus career. Joe Agashi, television champion, defending the title against Moroku the Monk. Not just Moroku, it's Moroku the Monk here at High Voltage 2017, with Moroku's career being put on the line to get this title opportunity. I want to just say something, and I'm sure a lot of old school ACW fans will back me up when I say this. Moroku is one of the pillars that eventually built ACW to where we're at today. Right? There are, to me, the 6 pillars to me, right? When ACW started, when it first started in 2006, there were 6 people that were considered to me at the time the pillars of this company. It was Haru, it was Moroku, it was Gaara, it was Aang, it was Gohan, it was Naruto. Those 6 right there molded and built ACW to where it is today. And Moroku the Monk back then used to be a very devious bastard. I mean, a lot of people say that about the likes of Hiei and Gohan and even Joe Agashi now today, but Moroku truly embodied that villainous role that he used to be. He used to be a disgusting person. He set up pretty much the most dominant faction before Night Raid in Gamma. That involved Sasuke, that involved Ken Masters and Danny Beaky, later on Woody and Davis. Moroku the Monk, he really was the man for a while on Excel. And then once he lost the Excel Championship and he lost his Gamma family, and then he just kept losing, he took a break for a while. He left. We didn't even know he was coming back. At Animania 4 last season, though, he comes back to a thunderous ovation. Just think about that. Moroku the Monk used to be the most hated man in ACW for once upon a time. And he came back last season at Animania 4 to a standing thunderous ovation. It just tells you how much ACW has changed throughout the years. And then leading into High Voltage here last night, first things first, Moroku the Monk bringing back that robe that he wore during his reign as Excel Champion was classic Moroku. It was just great. It was great to see Moroku with that robe, personally. And then Joe Higashi came out, and I couldn't tell you the arena. The arena almost booed Joe Higashi out of the building. As everybody knows, and I'm going to bring it up, but last month Joe Higashi defended the television title against Ash Ketchum. Ash had to put his career on the line to get the title shot. We all know that Ash Ketchum failed to win the title, and he was forcibly sent, to retirement. And Joe Higashi couldn't even let that happen. He just attacks Ash as a parting gift. And ever since that, I believe Joe Higashi has had the title of the most hated man in ACW today. I'm sure there are other contenders from both brands, but I think Joe Higashi, in terms of what he's accomplished and what he's done, I feel like a lot of people can justify in saying that he is the most hated man in ACW. Moroku the Monk, what he used to be, in some ways Joe Higashi is that now. They're like mirrors of what Moroku was in the past and what Joe Higashi is right now. So Joe Higashi and Moroku the Monk went at it. Moroku looked in great shape. I didn't even see any ring rust. If you did, then point it out to me, because I didn't see any ring rust. He looked in good shape. He looked in great conditioning for wrestling. He outsmarted Joe Higashi for the first couple of minutes. And the thing is that Joe Higashi, in the first few minutes of a match, whenever he does it, he likes to psych his opponents out mentally. It didn't work with Moroku. Moroku's the master. He's the master of mental mind games. People should know better than to play mind games with Moroku of all people. So that's why, Higashi struggled for a little bit. Higashi eventually did come back with a lot of suplexes, a lot of German suplexes. I believe he did 7 in that match. I might be wrong, but it was about 7 German suplexes. Moroku the Monk fought valiantly. He hit the peasant's elbow, which is great to see. He hit the thunderous monk bottom, where he almost had Joe Higashi down on the mat, and we almost had a new television champion, but no dice. And then Moroku went for a second attempt at the peasant's elbow. Higashi nips up, nails the knockout punch. 1, 2, 3. And just like that, a 10-year career in ACW is officially over. I was pretty pissed when that happened because, when ACW first started, I didn't like Moroku. He was a piece of crap, obviously, but I saw the redemption in his eyes. I saw the way he had changed and how he had settled within his family with Songo and his 2 children and his unborn child, as a matter of fact. And I don't know, I was pissed because one of the pillars of ACW is no longer gonna be around, and his career is over on the 10-year anniversary of this company. It's like life. Life isn't fair at times. It really isn't. But it sucks that somebody that you grew up watching, hating, loving, whatever, is no longer going to be there for you to boo or cheer anymore. Moroku, despite what anyone will say, is an ACW legend. He's done a lot for this company, good or bad. Like I said, he was one of the 6 pillars of this company. Now we're down to 5. Moroku, yeah, of course he was a Rock ripoff. We all know that. But in a funny way, Moroku made it work to where, he was a Rock parody, but he made it his own. You know what I mean? Like, he made it his own thing. And Moroku, it just sucks. I was devastated. I know the chat, when Joe knocked out Moroku and counted him for the 3, I can't explain to you how the chat was hurt. Like, I can visibly feel it. Like, I can just see it. Just a mix of anger, sadness, and doubt. And Joe Agashi, he's a great talent. Let's be honest here. I know we were getting emotional last night, but he has a great talent. He's held the television title to some sort of integrity, but this title versus career stipulation that Joe Agashi is making these people have to put his career on the line. And Sagat now is the number one contender. So does that mean Sagat has to put his career on the line? Because the rule is that Joe Agashi will not defend that title as long as someone's career is on the line, because he feels that the opponent that he has to face has to put something of equal to greater value of that title. And Roger Smith, the last Excel before this event, did say, that if you're going to be a part of this match, you need to understand that Joe Agashi can invoke that stipulation. But Moroku, I just want to say to Moroku, I want to thank Moroku for the 10 years that he gave to ACW, all the good and all the bad. I want to thank Joe. No, not thank Joe. Screw him right now. I want to thank Moroku for all that he's done for ACW, for building this league to where it is now. I want to thank Moroku for being entertaining. I want to thank Moroku, and you can press your F for respect. I don't mind that, because I probably, you know what, I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to do it too. Let me see. Yeah, there you go. But Moroku, I want to thank Moroku also for being entertaining. I want to thank Moroku for being one of those guys that really shaped the Excel brand and really made it its own. And for that, Moroku, and Blackos is right. Moroku had the balls to put his career on the line. He didn't have to. He didn't have to put his career on the line. But he felt that he had to, because people like Joe is what's ruining virtual wrestling for everybody. He took that risk for everybody that watched that match. He did it for Ash Ketchum. He did it for the fans. He did it for this league. He did it for this damn industry. And for that, Joe Agashi, Joe Agashi is somebody that he'll have his day one day, but Moroku is somebody that will never be forgotten. He is a true Hall of Famer. He's a true legend. And for that, I do thank you, Moroku. I want to thank you, and hopefully, you can be able to, be with your family and live a nice, healthy life. But thank you. I do want to make this announcement, though. I know that was kind of a damper, but I do want to make this announcement. I meant to announce it like kind of earlier in this newscast, but I'm going to make the announcement now. But Moroku is scheduled to be at Excel this upcoming Wednesday, and it will be a final farewell to Moroku. So you guys definitely have to be there at Excel number 81, because Moroku the Monk will be at Excel to say his final goodbyes to whoever he needs to say his goodbyes to. It's gonna be an emotional night. I can already tell. I'm gonna be a bit emotional, because Moroku really did a lot for this company. But yeah, make sure you guys. Make sure you guys are there for Excel number 81. It'll be Moroku's final farewell to the ACW fans and ACW in general. So make sure you're there for that. Wow. Okay, so we had a classic in the best of 7 series with Reiko and Jury in match number 4. We had an emotional match with Joe Agashi and Moroku, to where Moroku had his final match, unfortunately. You think that High Voltage couldn't get any crazier, right? You would think High Voltage couldn't raise the bar in terms of emotions. And then we come to the main event. The main event of the evening, if you will. The 6-man elimination tag, right? Between the Dream Team that's made up of the Excel champion Akuma, the Excel Road to Destiny briefcase holder Haru Glory, and the 2017 King of Elite Edward Elric. Them teaming up to take on Night Raid's Tatsumi, Wave, and Lubak. Yeah. How do we unpack this one, huh? Well, I will say this. Earlier this week, obviously, to a lot of people that follow the mainstream media for ACW and social media or whatever, they already know that Anime Championship Wrestling and Edward Elric couldn't come to an agreement for a new contract. Therefore, Edward Elric will be leaving ACW in December, unfortunately. I wish, I don't know, I wish we could have come to a consensus to keep Elric here in ACW despite the things he said, but we just couldn't come to an agreement. So, tentatively, this was Edward Elric's final ACW mega event. Um, Edward Elric came out. Crowd was, the crowd whenever Edward Elric comes out, and his entrance alone should tell you that. Horror Glory came out next. It was a big mixed reaction for Horror Glory. A mixed reaction that he's been getting for quite a while. I personally think it started all the way since Animania 4. Because you can hear the mixed reaction at that event. And it was prevalent here in this event as well. And then we have the Excel Champion Akuma. The most dominating Excel Champion of all time. I defy anybody to bring up another name from the Excel Championship lineage that can really debate that at this point. Akuma may possibly be the best Excel Champion of all time. That's a debate that you all should be having. Who truly is the best Excel Champion of all time? And if you want to be honest, I may in fact just do a little bit of a article / poll on that question down the line. Pretty much maybe next week, if you will. But no promises there. And then after those three came out, the all-star list of the Dream Team, Night came out through the dark shadows of the crowd. They meant business. They were in full force. General Esdeath was not there. So apparently she had a lot of full confidence to think that the boys could get it done. So the six-man tag, right? It was very crazy from the beginning. A lot of the members went at it. Horror Glory was being isolated by the team. Night kept tagging him frequently. Horror Glory and Tatsumi brawled outside. Unfortunately, the referee was counting, and when they got to 10, both Haru and Tatsumi were pretty much disqualified. They were pretty much eliminated from the match. So Night Raid and the Dream Team were down 2 members apiece. Haru, Glory, and Tatsumi kept brawling back all the way to the stage and backstage after that elimination. But that would not be the last time we would see one Haru Glory, and we will get to that in a minute. But it was 2-on-2. Edward Elric and Akuma representing the Dream Team, and then the XL Tag Team Champions, Wave and Lubach representing Night Raid. Man, was it crazy. It went either way. It could have gone either way. A lot of action between the two teams. Edward Elric able to spear the shoes right off of Lubach. Lubach was eliminated. Now Night Raid was down to simply Wave, taking on the Dream Team. And then as Elric was trying to go for another spirited Wave, Wave countered it, and then Wave would go for a knee strike and take out Akuma, and then would go for his own spear onto Edward Elric. And just like that, Edward Elric was eliminated from the matchup. It was down 1 apiece. Edward Elric was eliminated, and until something else pops up, that was the last time Edward Elric will wrestle in a mega event for ACW, unfortunately. But nonetheless, it was down 1 apiece. It was between Akuma, the XL Champion, and the big man Wave. Man, was it a match of just big hosses going at it towards each other. You know, it could have gone either way. And I did say this during the newscast, but I tell you what, man, Wave is impressive. No disrespect to Lubach or Tatsumi, because they are impressive in their own right. Let's not get that confused. But Wave is somebody that I have never seen in a unique sense. He's just his moveset, the way he commands presence in the ring and out, it's really, really intimidating, honestly. Even Akuma got caught slipping when it was down to him and Wave. But Akuma almost finished off Wave. He had Wave right where he wanted him. He almost finished him off. And then the lights go out. Now, I thought we had paid all our full electricity for this event, so damn sure it could come from ACW. But the lights did go out. And during the lights going out, you can hear something happening in the ring, but we couldn't fully see it. And at that time, we didn't even know who it was that may have turned off the lights or may have made it to, lights out or whatever. All we knew was that when the lights came back on, Akuma was down. He couldn't even get up. And Wei was the one that was on his feet. Wave, like a predator, just was waiting, and not only gave Akuma one spear, but he gave him two consecutive devastating spears to the Excel champion. And just like that, 1, 2, 3, Wave pinned the Excel champion. Night Raid defeats the Dream Team. Night Raid. And honestly, you may think whatever you want to think about them in a personal level or a professional level, good or bad. Night Raid keeps saying that they are the future of ACW. And quite honestly, I believe it. I damn sure do believe it at this point. I think Wave, Tatsumi, and Lubach, I think they're the type of people that are saying they're not waiting for the old timers. They're not waiting for the pillars of ACW to pass the torch to them. They are going to deliberately snatch it and take it. And if they have a problem with that, they can do something about it to try to take it back. That's what their mission is. They're not here to take over. They're not here to, take over an entire company or an entire brand. They are here to simply establish themselves as the future of this company. So Night Raid were victorious. Night Raid continues to be unstoppable. The Dream Team of Haru, Elric, and Akuma couldn't even beat Night Raid. That's how real Night Raid has become. So, the thing is, Night Raid leave. Akuma looked like he was badly beaten, but he was able to get on his feet. And then the lights go out again. And I'm like, okay. Look, Blumenting, I love you, but you can't be having this problem. I'm glad that you hosted our event, but can a brother get some light here, basically? And then some smoke started showing up, right? And then two blue lights, right? Two blue eyes and a blue arrow appeared from the darkness. And man, did the arena go berserk. Man, did the chat go insane when they saw that emerge through the smoke and darkness. And with that said, the Avatar Aang returned to ACW. We all remember how Aang was taken out from ACW last season. Ironically enough, it was at Ground Zero where Akuma and Aang had that hellacious, no pun intended, Hell in a Cell match. And after Akuma defeated Aang to retain that title, the Excel title, he sent Aang straight to hell, literally, with a chokeslam. And now Aang returns last night to High Voltage and went to town on Akuma, beat the ever-loving crap out of him, got a bat and was wailing on Akuma right on top of him, was able to just do all the maneuvers that you're known Aang to do. And man, as I'm seeing Blacko say here, I came back from hell, and boy did hell bring a baseball bat, didn't it? Karma. As someone that personally believes in karma, karma is something that you just cannot stop. It happens to those that either want a good or bad reaction equally from it. And Akuma, as much as he's been dominant as Excel champion, man, did Aang really show that he had no fear in his heart and was going to take out Akuma at all costs. So the Avatar Aang is back. And what I can tell you for Excel number 81, Aang will be at Excel. I'm telling you, this is turning out to be a big Excel episode. I'm telling you right now, if you miss... Look, we've got match number 5 between Reiko and Jury. Moroka's about to say his goodbyes, his final farewell to everybody. And the Avatar, Aang, is going to make his Excel return at Excel number 81. You cannot afford to miss the Excel after High Voltage. That's on you if you miss it, not on me. So the Avatar is back. And it looks like he's going to go after the Excel champion, Akuma. So, that was it for High Voltage. High Voltage was a great event. It was a great night of great action and great moments. 5 matches delivering, in my opinion. A lot of matches that can be considered contenders for Match of the Year. And, yeah, it was a big event. It was amazing. Wait a minute. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Huh. Give me a second. I'm trying to remember here, because it was a long night. I can't remember everything. I thought I mentioned it earlier, but I might have forgotten. Damn. what did I say? What was it? Oh! Yeah. That. Capital that. Yeah. Okay. That. So, High Voltage pretty much was closing out. We had the copyright ending. We had the the sign off from ACW, as you guys are all used to at this point. And then, as I was leaving my commentary booth from the skybox, as I was just about to close the door, I was squinting because I was from the skybox. I was seeing somebody coming from the ramp with a shiny, like, gold case, and I was like, holy shit! I was like, that's Haru! And Akuma had been down at this one. He wasn't getting up for shit. And I'm like, oh shit! It's Haru! No effing way. No damn way he's gonna do this here. So I rushed back and I told Jeff, dude, turn the switch back on my microphone. I got to announce this right now. Because I was getting ready to leave, and I was like, holy shit. It's about to go down. So I rushed back in there, and I was like, Haru Glory's about to trade in that Excel Road Destiny briefcase to get him. To get Akuma. Remember, the first episode of Excel this season, Haru tried, but Edward Elric eventually interrupted that cash-in. Haru Glory went for a second attempt here, with a battered, bloodied, and weakened Akuma after being beat by Wave and Night Raid, after being decimated by a returning Aang. Haru Glory runs his ass down from the ramp into the ring with the briefcase, hands it to the referee, the bell rings, and it only took one Rave of Destiny to obliterate Akuma. And when the ref hit the mat 3 times, universe explodes. Haru Glory defeats Akuma and is now the new XL champion. He is now the first ever 2-time XL champion. It's amazing what a trade-in can change at an instant. This completely changes the XL title picture. This completely changes everything. Akuma had a dominating title reign throughout last season and this season, only for Haru Glory, who won that briefcase at Animania 4, to a hard mixed reaction where the hashtag Let the Salt Flow phrase came from in the first place. He comes here last night at High Voltage, he trades in, he takes out a weakened and battered Akuma and covers him 1, 2, 3, and is now a 2-time XL champion. And you're damn right, James, the chat when that happened, when the ref dropped his hand for that 3, I cannot express to you what the chat room was like. I cannot tell you how that arena was when Haru Glory won that title. There was always a possibility that Haru Glory could win it. He may have failed at it, but he could have not failed at it. But for it to actually happen the way that it did, there has been a lot of discussion amongst the ACW fan base, the fandom, about, was Haru Glory in the right? Now look, I know Haru Glory has his fans, and I know Haru Glory has his haters, his detractors, if you will. So there's going to be a lot of mixed opinion when it comes to how Haru Glory won the Excel Championship. But I want to ask the chat, and I want to ask anyone who's listening to this newscast, was Haru Glory in the right? Was Haru Glory right to use that briefcase and trade it in and cash it in on a weakened Akuma to become the XL champion? Now think about it. You know the briefcase, you can cash it in anytime, anywhere between that time and Animania 5. So Haru Glory didn't break any rules, per se. But Haru Glory, despite all the haters saying otherwise, isn't really known to take that kind of quote-unquote shortcut to get a title or a win. That's why this title change is a little bit unorthodox. It's a little bit weird for Haru Glory. It's a bit different. But was Haru Glory in the right? You guys let me know in the chat live there, but was he in the right? I don't know. But, Haru Glory is the new Excel champion, and he will also be at Excel number 81 coming up on Wednesday this week. So, man, oh man, oh man, is Excel 81 going to be explosive? You thought High Voltage was explosive? I'm gonna do the rundown again. We've got match number 5 between Reiko and Jury in the best 7 series. Morocco the Mug is going to say his final farewell to ACW. The Avatar Aang is going to return to Excel. And now the new Excel champion Haru Glory will be making an appearance on Excel as well. You cannot miss Excel number 81 next week. You cannot miss it for anything. So, that was High Voltage 2017. Honestly, to me, and I'm sure for a lot of you too, it's my favorite High Voltage event throughout the years of ACW. Personally, my favorite, because of all the work that was put into it and just everything that transpired leading up to that event. I personally think it was the best High Voltage mega event so far. So, I don't know. I'm already seeing the conspiracy theories. I'm already seeing the theories and the discussions in the chat about Haru Glory if he was in the right, and if Haru Glory had certain help from certain people, or if Haru Glory did this on his own. Has Haru Glory changed the new leaf? Is Haru Glory just simply taking an opportunity? I'm liking the discussion, so it's going to be a discussion that keeps going throughout all the way till Wednesday, where Haru Glory will probably, assumingly so, explain his actions at Excel. So we will find out what is going to go down per se at Excel. That's for sure. So, with that said, that was High Voltage 2017. You guys let me know what you think. High Voltage 2017 is available right now on the ACW Mega Events channel as we speak right now. So, make sure you are, after you're done with Excel, after you're done with after you're done with this newscast and after you're done watching DCA Revelations 3, make sure you guys go check out High Voltage and watch it and relive the craziness that was High Voltage 2017. Another stellar home run performance from Anime Championship Wrestling, as always. So that was the High Voltage rundown. Check out Excel 81, as I just said, later this week on Wednesday to see the fallout from everything containing to High Voltage and more. So that was it. Now let's get into some pro wrestling news, and we have some pro wrestling news to talk about, right? So let's switch gears here. Let me see here. Yeah. So this happened literally this morning today, as I woke up, and I actually woke up early today, so that was kind of weird because I usually, unless I have to work, I usually take my sweet ass time when it comes to mornings. But yeah. This happened. So, as everybody knows, in the wee mornings of today, the WWE announced that they released 3 people. I don't know if they released anybody else as of this recording, or else I'll get updated maybe live here. But Emma, Summer Rae, and Darren Young were all released from the WWE earlier today, and we'll get into a lot of these things. It's I don't know. I'll go by it one by one. How about that, okay? First of all, let me go with Darren Young. Darren Young, everybody knows he is the first wrestler to be openly gay with the WWE. It's LGBT month as well, and I believe Darren Young was also he was at the Clippers game, right? Yeah, Darren Young was at the Clippers game, right? With all the other superstars doing all that stuff. So, yeah, Darren Young was surprising me because, and I want to say this first, he did not get released because he was gay. I want that to be squashed right then and there. It might have been because of budget cuts, it might have been for another reason, but it probably was not for all most likelihood because it was gay. Let's squash that right now. Wait, what? TJ Perkins got released too? Is that a real thing? I need a confirmation of that. I'm just, unless you guys are trolling, but TJ Perkins got released? See, now you guys are gonna make me go on Facebook on live newscasting and all that stuff. Those are assholes. um, yeah, I need to check this out real quick. Let me see here. Yeah, need a confirmation here. Let's see, no. Anyone who said that is a dummy. Oh boy, let me see. Let me see. I'm not seeing anything here, dude. Uh, nah, no. Okay, never mind. So I did get trolled. Ha ha ha. I would have bought it though because the cruiserweight division could be in trouble too with 205 Live being a fail, even with Enzo as champion. But it was believable to me. So, um, okay, so yeah, but back to what I was saying. Darren Young, obviously everyone knows he was the original part of NXT season one, and that eventually evolved into Nexus. Um, yeah, so and then Darren Young did some work with Titus O'Neil with the primetime players, and then he did some stuff with Bob Backlund. It's kind of been fluctuating ever since the Nexus was over, basically. But Darren Young, I would think from a PR standpoint that they wouldn't release him because everything has to be so PR, so PC. So releasing the guy that's gay is going to get a lot of unnecessary hate or unnecessary assumptions. But I mean, Darren Young wasn't really doing anything really. He wasn't really doing much as of late, so it's not really a big loss. Hopefully, he's able to bounce back. Maybe he finds luck in the independent scene. The guy, the likes of Cody Rhodes and Sami Callihan, you know, are out there doing their own independent work without having to rely on the WWE machine. So it's very possible to make a lot of money, a lot of successes, you know, in wrestling without using the WWE machine to do it. So hopefully Darren Young bounces back somewhere if he's really dedicated to it. And then we get to the next one, Summer Rae. Summer Rae was also expected in my opinion. I saw that coming. Summer Rae hadn't been on television for quite a while. I know that she was doing some other projects. She was modeling. She was going to award shows. She was doing other PR stuff for the WWE. I think she was also a little bit injured, so she couldn't really fully wrestle at the time. So Summer Rae was still doing busy stuff at the end of the day, but she hadn't been consistently on television for a while. So that release didn't surprise me. And Summer Rae, and I'll say the same thing for Emma when we get to her, but Summer Rae, her, Emma, Paige, and AJ, in my opinion, were the true starters of the women's revolution in the WWE. And that era doesn't get talked about a lot anymore. Now, I love the Four Horsewomen. I like what they are individually to a point. But when people say that those four really start the revolution of the women's division, it's like, let's pump the brakes here, right? Let's be honest, Summer Rae was the reason why Sasha Banks became the boss. Before Sasha and Bayley was considered the standard, it was Paige and Emma. AJ Lee also got her shine from FCW and early NXT before she moved up to the main roster. So I feel like those four started the real women's revolution that gave the lane for the Four Horsewomen to even perfect it to greater heights. That's the discussion that needs to be talked about. And quite honestly, I think Summer Rae gets a little bit of flack. Now, personally, I've said before that she's a bit of a butterface. I've said that before, and I'm not going to take it back. But, Summer Rae in the ring is very confident. She's good at what she can do when she's given the chance. Her character, she's really good at character. She's really good at doing promos when she can. She's got charisma, too, actually, as well. So, Summer Rae can do a lot of things. Now, I don't know where she goes from here. She could very well go to Impact Wrestling once her contract is fully done with the 90-day clause. Or she might just be out of the business in general and start doing some modeling or doing other projects that she was doing anyways during her her last WWE months over there. So we don't know where Summer Rae's future will go. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. It's a mystery. And then we get to Emma, the big one. Let's be honest here. Emma getting released. Now I know a lot of people are going to say, "Wow, that one's a shocker." I mean, she was just getting used. She was just starting to get TV time. Yes and no. To me, Emma has been on borrowed time. And let me explain. Emma had a bit of a niche along with Paige during that whole women's wrestling revolution at the time. But as soon as came to the main roster, the whole dancing gimmick she did not translate to the main crowd. Her pairing up with Santino made it even worse. It pretty much was the death knell for that character that was popular in NXT, which is proof that just because you're popular in NXT, just because you're over in NXT, does not mean you're over in general. Because NXT is niche. People need to start realizing that. NXT is a niche product. It works for NXT. It may not work for a Raw or a SmackDown or a pay-per-view. But yeah, so Emma had been kind of trailing. She even had to go back to NXT. That's how much she was kind of floundering. She had to go back to NXT. She had a bit of a good little run with Dana Brooke, with them doing a little pairing together. She introduced Asuka to the NXT crowd. And then Emma, I believe, got injured and then came back to the main roster once Dana got promoted to the main roster. She came back with Evil Emma, and that was her little thing. And then she got injured again. And then once they were trying to get her back, she was going to be this gimmick called Emelina, which is basically a modern version of Sunny or Missy Hyatt. Let's just be honest, right? So, but then reportedly, rehearsals for her debut promo as Emelina did not go well. There was reports that Emma really didn't want to do the gimmick and pretty much purposely half-assed it to make sure she didn't have to do it. There were other things where the WWE officials probably weren't impressed with her performance. Either way, the Emelina gimmick lasted just 1 week, and then she went back to the Evil Emma gimmick, and she was basically treading water. That Emelina gimmick pretty much was her last chance at doing something relevant, potentially, and it was deaded by the first week. So Emma had been treading water. And then you get to the NXT, where now you have a lot of other Australian and New Zealander representatives like Dakota Kai and Peyton Royce and Billie Kay and Rhea Ripley, to where Emma, even in that sense, Emma doesn't need to be in the company anymore whenever they do their New Zealand or Australian tours anymore. They've got more women for that now. So I knew once the Emelina gimmick wasn't going to mean anything or wasn't going to work, period, I knew right then and there Emma was on borrowed time. I knew that it was only a matter of time until she was going to be released. And then I really knew that was the case maybe a month or two ago with her match with Nia Jax in particular, right? Her match with Nia Jax in particular. You can tell, and I can tell this because I'm somebody that knows a lot about this, but you can tell that Emma didn't want to be there. She didn't want to wrestle Nia. She didn't give a fuck anymore. You can just see. Go back and watch that Emma and Nia Jax squash. You guys know the match I'm talking about. That was a month or two ago. The Nia Jax Emma squash. Just by the body language and facial expressions, you can tell that Emma no longer gave a fuck to be there anymore. You know that she knew that she wasn't going to get any more opportunities to be the top girl in the division as long as the four horsewomen were in Raw and SmackDown. She knew that. And so she didn't give a fuck. And you can tell that. So she was just basically on borrowed time until today, where it was announced that she finally she finally is released. That's it. Yeah. ACL, yeah, right. I forgot about the Mighty O'Neil. I apologize. But you get my point though with that. But anyways, yeah, so Emma's gone. Emma, to me, personally, she's one of the most misused talents in recent history for the WWE. Now, I say this now because it's very possible that she can go to the independents here. She can go to Impact Wrestling. She can go to Ring of Honor. She can do Stardom. She can do Shimmer. She can possibly do New Japan if she wants to. There's a lot of opportunities Emma has to where she can make a successful life for herself after the WWE. Cody Rhodes has proven that he can be able to leave the WWE on his own accord, although Emma was fired here, but still, Cody can leave and still make himself more relevant and more money than he did in his WWE run. So, that does spell good things for Emma. I heard maybe that Emma might be done with wrestling, period. She might just go do modeling, which, I mean, those pictures, I mean, those are A1, son. But don't get me wrong. But I feel like if she's going to come still do wrestling, I feel like Ring of Honor or Impact Wrestling will be one of those two companies that will eventually bring her in and take advantage of the momentum that WWE pretty much squandered. I even just saw a tweet from Moose before I even did the newscast. Moose from Impact Wrestling, he pretty much just tweeted at Emma, "Yo, make some noise here at Impact Wrestling." Like directly tweeted him that sounding like Puerto Rican. Directly tweeted that at her. There you go. So the sky's the limit for Emma here. It's the sky's the limit for Emma. And yes, I'm going to mention this too. I did see the tweet that Leo Rush made also about Emma. Here's my thing. It was a joke, honestly. I wasn't offended or wasn't triggered about the joke that Leo Rush made. The problem was is that dude, you're in the WWE now. This is no longer CZW. This is no longer Ring of Honor. This is no longer Evolve. You're in the WWE now. There are certain protocol that you have to understand and take. Yes, they can be bullshit, but that is a standard that is set in that company. You cannot be going out there and just tweeting out stuff like that and not expect backlash. And he got a lot of it from fans and WWE wrestlers and everybody in between apart, to where he had to make a long paragraph, which quite frankly to me was a forced, empty apology. He only did it because the heat that he was getting from that tweet was piling onto him really bad. And because here's the thing, if the heat wasn't there, Leo wouldn't have apologized. So I don't buy Leo Rush doing that. I don't buy Leo Rush meant what he said about the apology. He was just trying to do that to calm down the heat. But it's whatever. Leo Rush did what he did. I mean, the joke, like I said, it really wasn't. I got it. I didn't personally laugh at it, but I was like, I got it, right? But it's just that, dude, you're in the WWE now. You can't just go around saying stuff like that randomly without expecting some sort of repercussion. It's a very PR, PC-laced company. You have to follow protocol there. Pro wrestler, professional wrestler. People like to be the second part of that word, but not the first part. You have to be professional before you be a wrestler. There's a difference. So, I don't know, Leo. I don't know if Leo will be buried here. Probably not. This probably will go away once the Emma release news starts dying down. But, if he continues this attitude, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets released shortly after. But we'll see where that goes. So, there you go. Darren Young, Emma, Summer Rae, all released from the WWE earlier this morning. If you want my honest opinion, I feel like Darren Young will probably do some public speaking, non-wrestling roles for a while before he might come back to wrestling. Summer Rae, she may either go to Impact Wrestling or she might just be done with wrestling in general and just do modeling and other stuff. She's got the charisma for TV stuff. And Emma, I feel like sky's the limit for Emma. She can go wherever she damn well pleases and she can make something of it. She can showcase, or hopefully she'll showcase what the WWE missed out on. She can go to Ring of Honor, she can go to Impact Wrestling, she can go to Stardom, Shimmer. Sky's the limit for him, honestly. So that's my opinion on that, and we will see. I know I got trolled with the TJ Perkins thing, but apparently Falcon Arrow from Reddit, who has been pretty much on the money for most of the posts that he's made in regards to WWE leaks on Reddit, he said that including Emma, so not Emma included in this, but including Emma, 7 or 8 people were going to be released from the WWE. Now we know 2 of them already in Darren Young and Summer Rae. So now that leaves you to 6 or 7 of them. So who could the rest be? You can make your guesses. I certainly have my predictions. I'm sure you'll ask that on the Q&A section of the newscast, which is fine. But I do have my guesses as to who that could possibly be. So there's that with WWE news. Now let's go into some TNA news. Let's go into some Impact Wrestling news, right? Now I did say that Impact Wrestling, there could be some new Impact Wrestling signings. So let's talk about them right now, one by one. First off, let's talk about arguably the biggest name in independent wrestling right now. That is this man right here, Ricochet. That is right, the self-proclaimed Prince Puma of Lucha Underground, which just ended Season 3. Therefore, now that Season 3 is over, Ricochet is now free from his Lucha Underground contract. He can now sign with whatever company he wants to sign with. It's just that he can't be on TV until January. But he can sign with any company right at this moment. So, Ricochet. despite what Cody Rhodes may tell you, Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks, but Ricochet is the hottest talent out there. Now, a lot of people have predicted and a lot of people have speculated that Ricochet was going to head to the WWE as soon as Lucha Underground was done with season 3. I tend to believe that. Ricochet has made hints. He has said a few things about wanting to be a part of NXT in various interviews. So I feel like Ricochet is going to go to the WWE eventually. He may very well even be a Royal Rumble participant by January when he's able to be on TV. That could very well happen. Or else, WWE could pretty much squander his potential too and just stick him to the Cruiserweight division. That's also a possibility. But Ricochet is pretty much WWE bound. But there were reports that Impact Wrestling and Ricochet were talking, and that Impact were interested, and that Rico was interested at the idea, not the offer, but at the idea that Impact would just come to him with such an offer to sign him. So I don't see him. I don't see him coming to Impact personally. I think because honestly, like I know people would want maybe Ricochet in the X division, but I think Ricochet is a bit more than that at this point. So I do see him going to NXT come January, February. I do see that coming. He might even very well appear at the Rumble. So we'll see where Ricochet goes. But again, sky's the limit for him too. He finally left that dreaded Lucha Underground contract that he was bound to for 7 seasons. Yeah, as if Lucha Underground's going to survive even 4 at this point. Because rumors that Lucha Underground is pretty much done. Period. After season 3, there have been no confirmation for season 4. MGM, which owns Lucha Underground and El Rey, are saying that they are tired of putting the money to cover expenditures with production for a show that doesn't garner them ratings or buzz. So Lucha Underground pretty much is officially done. Well, I assume that. I'm assuming that. It's nothing official, but I'm assuming that. But anyways, yeah, I see Ricochet going to WWE. Impact will try to do a high offer, which they should, but I just see Ricochet kind of WWE bound. It's just kind of there. It's kind of like Adam Cole. Everybody knew Adam Cole was going to WWE as soon as he left Ring of Honor. So, but speaking of Ricochet, let's talk about Ricochet's girlfriend slash fiance. Right, that'll be this lady right here, Tessa Blanchard. Obviously, Tessa Blanchard, second generation daughter to Tully Blanchard of the Four Horsemen. Tessa Blanchard also wrestled at the Mae Young Classic this year. In the first round with Kari Sine, or Kari Hojo for all of you. Had arguably the best match in that round 1. So, apparently the reports here is that Impact are interested in bringing in Tessa. Now, I don't know if I don't know if they were interested because they thought if they can get Tessa, they can kind of coerce Ricochet to come to Impact. I don't know if that's the case, and I don't even know if that would really work. I do know that Tessa and Ricochet are room partners with Moose. So maybe Moose had a little bit to do with them maybe being interested as well. But also the new report that came out, I believe, last night was that Tessa Blanchard will be not only wrestling in Ottawa the day of Bound for Glory, which will also be in Ottawa on November 5th. That would also assume that from the report that Tessa Blanchard could very well be wrestling for the Impact tapings after Bound for Glory in the Ottawa tapings. There have been plans that should Tessa agree that she will be brought in for the taping. So we will see where that goes, which will be very interesting because you got a lot of knockouts right now. You got Taya Valkyrie, you got Sienna, you got Allie, you got Rosemary, you've got Laura Van Ness, you've got Ava Story, and you've got others that haven't really debuted yet. Diamante's still injured, but she's still there. You've got others that haven't even debuted yet. You got Kiera Hogan, you've got Hanaya the Huntress, MJ Jenkins. Hell, you've got Casey Spinelli from Canada that works at Smash Wrestling, who is longtime friends with Rosemary and Allie. She's reported to also be coming to the Ottawa tapings after Bound for Glory. So the Knockouts division is really heating up to be something truly spectacular. Hopefully after Bound for Glory. So if Tessa comes in, I can see more coming in than Ricochet. Let me put it that way. Although Tessa has been known for her attitude and backstage issues during certain various independent promotions, so I don't know if you want to bring that headache into your locker room, but she is a talented figure. She is a talented worker. She has lineage, obviously, with Tully Blanchard. So it's 50-50. I feel like it's 50-50 here with Tessa here. But I believe with this next one, though, I feel like he's the one more likely than even Ricochet and Tessa. And that would be this man, right here. That's right, the Death Machine himself, Sami Callihan. Apparently, Impact is looking to bring in Sami Callihan. Now, for those that didn't watch Impact last week, which is not a lot, but for those that didn't watch Impact last week, apparently OVE, Jake and Dave Christ, cut a promo, and it showed Sammy, allegedly Sammy, but I think we all know it's Sammy, but allegedly just showed his arm doing the thumbs up and doing the thumbs down. OVE will be having a street fight match with LAX at Bound for Glory, which is where Sammy would apparently would show up there to even the odds against LAX, and there are plans to bring him in and work Bound for Glory and the Ottawa tapings. Now I don't know if he's gonna officially sign, because there were rumors that the whole Switchblade promos that are going on in New Japan are for Sammy, although other reports are saying that it's for Jay White, so I'm not really sure. But bringing in Sammy, I honestly bringing in Sammy is a positive for Impact Wrestling. I feel, because you want to bring in the top talents in your promotion. You want to bring the top talents in your promotion, which you couldn't say 2 years ago, right? So the fact that you're trying to get Ricochet, you're trying to get Tessa, you're trying to get Casey Spinelli, you're trying to get even Sami Callihan, that says a lot. That says a lot for Impact. That says that Impact, despite the issues that they've had these past several years and are still continuing to work on, it is still a destination for wrestlers to still make their national presence known to the casual audience, and hone their craft to where they either want to leave to WWE or they want to just stay there and still work independence or what have you. But so yeah, Sami Callihan probably more than likely is going to be coming to Impact Wrestling. I don't know how long that will be. I don't know if it's going to be only for this OVE LAX feud, but I'm intrigued to see what he does here. And I do agree with Do It here. WWE did fuck up, Sami Callihan really bad. Solomon Crow, if you will. He was supposed to be a hacker, and it just didn't resonate with the crowd. It just didn't work. And I think Sammy's also said that he did some things that he could have done better in his run, but I just think they didn't utilize him to his full potential, if you will. But yeah, so Sami Callihan is rumored also to come in. Let me just talk about some other various TNA/Impact news. Reno Scum were released from Impact Wrestling this week as well. I know Reno Scum because they tend to work in the western area of Nevada and California. In the northern California area, they do work here. Although also in Nevada, obviously from where they're from. And I know them of certain ways because of certain connections that I have in that business. But Real Scum were released. Adam Thornstone pretty much said it to be the case in a tweet. He did thank Impact for helping him with him recover from injury this year that he had. I'm glad he recovered. It was said to be a cost-cutting measure, so let's calm down with the Impact is dying meme that is dead at this point, honestly. Like, Impact is what it is at this point. It's not a competitor to WWE anymore. We all know that. It's basically just a new destination for other wrestlers to be in a national presence, okay? But yeah, Reno Scum's gone. Taryn Terrell last week left Impact as well, and she was supposed to be a part of that Knockouts 4-way match that's now a triple threat. That was kind of a little bit random, and there's a lot of reasons maybe why that was not in good taste. But she's gone now too. Who else? I feel like I'm missing other people. There's also rumors that another Knockout may be leaving the company as well, but I haven't read anything about that. And also Jeff Jarrett obviously has been sent or took himself to rehab this week. Earlier last week, Impact announced that Impact and Jeff Jarrett were pretty much terminating their relationship with him and Global Force Wrestling. And yeah. Jeff Jarrett has been I don't know, Jeff Jarrett has been rumored to have certain alcohol issues and has been even drinking in you know drinking during wrestling shows, and hopefully he gets the help that he needs. Hopefully the rehab that's WWE sponsored, by the way. Hopefully he gets the help that he needs, because I don't want to ever see a wrestler crash. And I know because I don't want to get too personal about it, but I know people that have been affected with alcoholism, chronic alcoholism, and how it destroyed their lives and careers. And I would hate to see Jeff Jarrett, despite what you may say about Jeff Jarrett. Um, Jeff Jarrett, he's had his detractors, he's had his fans, but what we can say is that Jeff Jarrett, if he can get the help that he needs, that would be a positive for wrestling, because we don't want to lose any more wrestlers in this business. So hopefully Jeff gets the help that he can get, and hopefully, he's okay. Hopefully he can be able to fight the demons that he's battling right now. So, all right, so that is Impact Wrestling news. Now we have come to the Q&A portion of the newscast. So I'm going to give you guys a couple of seconds because I know we're in a delay here. But if you guys have any questions that you guys want to ask me, I will let you guys post it on the chat, and I will be able to answer them to the best of my abilities. Yeah, so any questions that you guys have as it pertains to anything, I will try my best to answer it, as you guys know. So let me see here. Josh Matthews got released? What the hell? Did he really? Or are you saying that because Madison Rayne got released last month, now you're saying that maybe Josh gets released? I don't know. Which voltage match was the hardest to record and edit, sir? From a standpoint of having the perfect type of match, maybe it was Reiko and Jury, because I really wanted that match to be what I wanted it to be. From a story standpoint, I probably will say the main event, because I wanted to do that right. I wanted to do that right in order to I don't know. I wanted to do that right, and obviously it came off right, so I did my job. But yeah, those would be the two matches I would say that were the hardest to record. Who are you interested in bringing in for ACW? Well, I mean, I can't say that. I mean, I'm the owner. I can't be biased. I will say for the one person that I would like to see in ACW, personally, to me, that I believe has not even been here yet. I don't know. Personally, to me, I think. Yeah, this is actually a good question. Wow, I gotta think about this. Ask me this again in 5 minutes. I gotta think about this while I answer other questions. Okay. Opinions on the Sami Zayn heel turn. Meh. I mean, I guess some are liking it because he's being really annoying and all that. But here's my thing, right? I didn't have a problem with the heel turn back at Hell in a Cell because it made somewhat sense, I guess, at the time. But here's my thing. It's been established that Sami and Kevin are friends in the NXT WWE universe now. You can't just rely on it because of the Ring of Honor days. It was established in WWE and NXT as well, right? Then Kevin Owens turned on Sami, and they go back and forth and have millions of matches and had a long-running feud with each other. So now Sami and Kevin are now friends again. And that's even equally as stupid because Kevin Owens just turned his back on his other best friend, Chris Jericho, earlier this year, to where they had a match at WrestleMania and Extreme Rules. So now Sami feels that he can be able to trust Kevin Owens enough to be friends with him again, especially with what Kevin Owens put him through, with what he did to Jericho. And I know that they have a personal history compared to him and Jericho, but still, like, it doesn't make all that much sense. But if it does work, I guess, 'cause let's be honest, Sami Zayn as a face wasn't doing shit. Whether he was on Raw or SmackDown, he just wasn't doing anything. So maybe this heel turn finally finds a way for him to reach that ceiling that he's been looking for. Who knows? Um, just watched High Voltage, great CPV. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Connect Man versus original Tiger Mask. Who would you pick? I pick Connect Man. I think I pick Connect Man. He usually finds a way to win at the end of the day, for the most part. I pick Connect Man. Considering Impact has Bound for Glory coming up, most looking forward to match. Probably Rosemary and Taya in their Red Wedding / First Blood match. I'm looking forward to that. I think it's gonna be really cool. I also think the Moose and Lashley match, the tag match in a steel cage with Stephen Bonner and King Mo, like UFC and Bellator fighters, I think that also has potential to be good. I'm even looking forward to Eli Drake and Johnny Impact too, to see how that goes down. I want to see if they really have Eli Drake lose the title, or if they want Johnny Impact to feud with a returning Alberto Patron, who's coming back at Bound for Glory, was announced. I don't know. And by the way, I was looking through the news here. I did not see anything about Josh Matthews being released, by the way. So I'll keep looking, but I have not seen anything yet. Let's see. Who will face Alberto Patron at Bound for Glory since Jeff Jarrett was going to be his opponent? I don't think. I don't think Patron will even wrestle. I think he'll just be involved in the main event in some capacity, where he might turn heel and go after Johnny Impact because they have history from Lucha Underground, or cost Eli Drake the title. But I don't see him wrestling per se. I don't see it. Hakeem, are you thinking about having a Queen of Elite tournament? Next question. Next question. Let's see. Thoughts on Night 1 and 2 of Revelation, sir? I've only seen parts of Night 1, so I don't want to fully comment on it until I finish it. I have not seen Night 2 because obviously I was doing the High Voltage live stream, so I couldn't see it. I will be checking out Night 3 of Revelations 3 as well, and then I'll catch up with 1 and 2 as well. But I'm looking forward to DCA. DCA putting out great quality entertainment. You know, they've grown so much these past couple of years, and I'm proud of them. I'm proud of D-Wall, and proud of, Loudon, Zaya, Vinny, and all the guys over there that have put all the effort and work into DCA. They really do deserve the success that they're getting. So you guys make sure you guys watch Revelations 3, the final part tonight. Your thoughts about SmackDown Live rating the Raw locker room last week of tomorrow? That was so stupid. That's so dumb. You're gonna have almost an entire roster come into a Raw building without security coming in there to try to kick them out forcibly, or calling the LAPD or calling the police to kick them out. And then it's like, why have the issue now? Why are they having an issue now? That makes no sense. Why are they having an issue now? Why? Because it's Survivor Series time? That doesn't matter. There should be a real purpose as to why SmackDown felt the need to go to Raw and attack and pretty much ruin their show. It's stupid because, want to know why? Because there's no storylines right now in the WWE. There is no storylines in the WWE right now. Honestly, think about it. Tell me one storyline right now that you can even come up with that has your interest right now. That's why they had to do it. Because the ratings for Raw and SmackDown are in the toilet right now. They need to create interest right now with this brand warfare to give both shows a boost, which they may or may not get during Survivor Series time. But there's no issue. It's just two brands fighting for whatever reason. For bragging rights? So what? So effing what? And then to have Jinder Mahal face Brock Lesnar in a champion versus champion. I cannot think of a champion versus champion match that I've given less of a fuck about than this match. And the stupid part about it is, everybody's assuming that Brock's going to win that match, so WWE is stupidly going to have Jinder win it to say, oh, I got you guys, I swerved you guys. This is so trash. This Survivor Series honestly is going to blow. It's going to suck. in my opinion. The brand warfare has no purpose. It has nothing in it for either brand to fight about. Jinder Mahal, who hasn't even been a good world champion, facing Brock Lesnar, a world champion that doesn't even fucking show up most of the time. They're gonna fight like we should give a fuck. Yeah, I'm definitely skipping Survivor Series. Let's put it that way. Let's put it that way. Have you seen that Jaden Smith anime he has? Yes, it's trash. It sucks. Jaden Smith sounded like he didn't even give a fuck to be there. And I know it's a parody of anime, but here's the thing. I've heard the excuse of people trying to defend this bullshit, saying that, oh, well, it's a parody of anime. It's supposed to be this cringe. It's supposed to be this unfunny. It's supposed to be this bad. Shut the fuck up. Gitama does it better. That's good parody of anime. That's good parody of anime. You can do a parody of anime, but yet let it still be good. Let it still be entertaining. That bullshit isn't. It's not entertaining whatsoever. So, I don't want to hear the bullshit defense with that anime. It's just trash. It's trash. What do you think is next for Night Raid after High Voltage? Honestly, I don't know, dude. I don't know. Night Raid are dominating. I have no idea what they have in store. They can do whatever the hell they want at this point. I don't know. General Ezzet's leading them. They're three young talents that are just running through this Excel brand. They can do whatever the hell they want, in my opinion. Do you think WWE should have waited for WrestleMania for Kurt to wrestle? Yes! You don't blow a Kurt Angle return on a fucking worthless TLC pay-per-view. You save that shit for WrestleMania. Because you know WrestleMania isn't even going to be all that good anyways. So why not give you an legit surprise by having Kurt Angle? You know? By having Kurt Angle wrestle his return match back to the WWE at a WrestleMania. This man is one of the pillars of the Attitude Era. And you waste his return match at a worthless TLC show? But you don't give him a WrestleMania moment by having him come back to the WWE, come back quote-unquote home, and wrestle at WrestleMania one last time before he calls it a career? Oh, that's how mediocre this company is. And I keep saying this over and over. All of this shit that's happening right now in the WWE, I've been saying it a year and 2 years ago, and people still want to argue like this company is still good, it's still fine. Oh, they have their third quarter, reports, they're doing fine. Bullshit. What that means is that they had to cut pyro, they had to cut talent, they had to cut a lot of production, they had to cut a lot of costs so that way they can be able to have a good third quarter, the same way they're trying to do by releasing these talents to get a good fourth quarter. That's what you call cooking up the numbers. Yeah, relatively for them in 2017, it's a good report. But for what they need to be doing, it sucks. The network is staggering right now with the subscriptions. They're at 1.5 subscriptions, and you've got a plethora of worldwide fans that can get access to the WWE network, and you've got only 1.5 million fans worldwide subscribed to your network. That's bullshit. And then you've got Raw and SmackDown ratings damn near in the toilet. They're doing 1.9, 1.8, 1.7, 1.6 ratings, dude. You don't got the star power for both brands. That's why this brand split is bullshit. I don't want to hear people say, oh, it gives people chances. Oh, we get longer matches. I don't give a shit. I just want a good product. I just want a good product. Period. This brand split is killing the ratings right now. And apparently it's killing the attendance either. Because every time I'm seeing now these half-empty arenas. I'm seeing seats being tarped off in front view. Not even in the hard camera anymore. You can see it now in your screen as well. That's terrible. If the WWE is doing this bad, what can wrestling be doing as a whole then? People can say, oh, well, wrestling's coming back. Wrestling's doing this. Wrestling's doing that. Yes, for the niche product. We are hardcore wrestling fans. Of course, we're going to buy, we're going to watch, we're going to be invested in wrestling. But we're talking about the casuals who have moved on from wrestling. We are talking about the casuals that have pretty much moved to the UFC or have moved to sports or have moved to other forms of entertainment that can give them characters, that can give them storylines, that can give them action, that can give them suspense, that can give them comedy. They've moved on from the WWE because the WWE isn't even really for us anymore. It's supposed to be for the kids and teenagers now. That's who the WWE is for. It's not for us. And what Blacko said, where the fuck Samoa Joe been at? I know Joe's been injured with the knee, with the nose injury. I get that. But we can't get a Samoa Joe interview here and there saying, I'll be back to take what's mine. We can't even get that. Braun Strowman, you fucked him up so bad. You didn't give him the Universal title when you should have. You should have made Braun Strowman beat Brock Lesnar at No Mercy. You fucked that up. You ruined his aura. You ruined his momentum. Now he's just another guy that happens to be just going on with the likes of Cesaro and Sheamus and Miz and Kane. Speaking of Kane, we're building Kane back up in 2017. We're making Kane something that fucking matters in 2017. I'm not really the biggest fan of Finn Balor, but for him to fucking drop to Kane in 2017 under any circumstances, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? The Shield reunion failed. The Shield reunion flopped. I don't want to hear shit about saying, oh, the Shield came back together. The ratings say that nobody gave a shit. You know why they didn't give a shit? Because the Shield pretty much was built during the downtime of the WWE where ratings were starting to begin to slip. That's when the Shield were at their most prime, unfortunately for them. And because it wasn't long enough for a Shield reunion to be called for. They broke up a year too early. All three members of the Shield had mediocre to horrible world title reigns, and then you make them do really nothing until you're forced to put them back together as a Shield reunion. Oh my god, too bad we saw the teases in the Shield reunions anyways before that happened, but you got the Shield reunion here. And no one gives a fuck enough to even tune in ratings and attendance wise to where Roman Reigns gets sick anyway, so you can't even do the full Shield reunion at TLC. You had to waste a Kurt Angle return match to team up with Ambrose and Rollins in a pay-per-view that you don't even remember 2 weeks ago. Yes, I am irritated because people keep making excuses saying, oh, the WWE is fine, the WWE is alright. All empires crumble. Okay? The Roman Empire crumbled, the Soviet Union crumbled, WCW crumbled, the 90s Bulls eventually had to crumble, the 2000 Lakers had to crumble eventually. For anyone to say that the WWE can't fall, for anyone to say the WWE can't find a way to screw up to the point where they fall too, let's get something straight. Next year or 2 years from now, they're about to have their TV contracts renewed by Universal and USA Network. And with the ratings and attendance they're putting out there, they're about to get even half or even more than half of what they were offered already. And the contract that they're at right now was half from the original contract before. So they're going to get half of what they originally got. And people are going to stand here and tell me, oh, well, record revenue. Oh, we've got the best independent talents. We've got the best foreign talents. We've got the WWE Network. Who gives a shit? When there is no more WWE, none of that will ever matter. When Vince is eventually done and retires from the WWE, Stephanie McMahon has to run that company. And I'm sorry, Stephanie McMahon has nowhere near the business acumen or smarts that Vince had. You can call Vince senile, you can call him out of touch. You're right. But Vince McMahon, all and everything else, Vince McMahon, I will take a senile Vince McMahon running the company than a Stephanie McMahon in her best day any day. Because Vince McMahon, as shrewd as he could be, he is a businessman at the end of the day. Stephanie McMahon can't handle that pressure. She's talking about PR and philosophy being the new form of charity. Who says that? Who says we're going to use charity as a way to promote our brand, our company? Who says that shit on public accord? And then people are going to say Triple H. Let me tell you something. The Triple H love fest stops now. Stops now. Okay? I'm so goddamn sick and tired of people kissing Triple H's ass just because Vince McMahon doesn't have it anymore. You're right, Vince doesn't have it anymore. True. But at the time, Triple H gave you Road Dogg on SmackDown. He brought his buddies. For people giving shit Jeff Jarrett for doing that for Impact this year, Triple H is bringing Shawn Michaels and Road Dogg and a little bit for a while Billy Gunn, X-Pac. He brought his buddies in, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall to do seminars in NXT. Triple H won't be any different. The only reason why people give him a pass is because he's able to take pictures with the latest independent star that signs with NXT. He brings back shit like Starrcade and War Games. He does wrestling stuff once in a while. He's one of the last eras of the Attitude Era. That's why people give him a pass. Fuck that bullshit. Okay? If you're going to criticize Vince McMahon for the shit that he's doing with this company, which is all the more deserved, then Triple H deserves the same damn criticism as well. I'm sick and tired of people saying Triple H, does this and does that, and he's better. You don't know Triple H running wrestling operations when Vince is done is going to be better. You don't know that. Has Triple H done some good here and there? Sure. Fine. You're right. I agree with you. Okay? I agree with you. but not enough to warrant a free goddamn pass every time Triple H shakes an Adam Cole's hand, or Sami Zayn's hand, or Ricochet when he comes in, or Kenny Omega when he comes in, or the Young Bucks when they come in. Are we gonna just ignore Triple H and Vince McMahon's mistakes and say the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega come in all of a sudden? Or Ricochet comes in? Or Sami Callihan returns? People gotta think here, okay? People say there's a boom in wrestling. There is no boom anymore. Nobody watches wrestling like that anymore. It's us. It's us. The hardcore fans watch wrestling now. And the WWE is trying to piss off their only fan base left loyal enough to watch this bullshit. Yeah, because every business that's ever successful just does that to their fans, right? Well, unless if you're Capcom. But the point stands. WWE, I'm ranting, sure, but I know shit's not going to change. All people can do is stop giving them your money, stop giving them the rating, stop going to their shows, stop watching and subscribing to the WWE Network. They're not going to listen to us by ranting. They're just not going to do it. We got to do it financially, where it hits them in the pockets. You've got to do that. When we all, as a majority, do that, that's when they understand. In 1997, before the Attitude Era, when WCW was kicking the WWF's ass, the WWF was almost going to go to bankruptcy because they couldn't compete with Ted Turner's money. They were having declining ratings. They were going in half-empty arenas. Shawn Michaels, Psycho Sid, Bret the Hitman Hart, The Undertaker weren't drawing shit as champions at the time. Okay? So, where does this end? I'm not saying that I'm not saying you have to hate the WWE. I'm not saying that. But wake the fuck up. This shit is trash. You've watched what the WWE could be. You've watched that already. You've watched when the WWE could be great, and they can still be great. But to excuse this mediocrity is trash, and you know it's trash. So that's all I gotta say. I guess I've been holding that WWE rant for a while. Just need to say that, and I know it's not gonna do anything. It's just me ranting. Just kind of felt like needing to do that, but there you go. So I think I took over the entire. Q&A section. I don't know. I'm gonna see if I give you guys 5 more minutes for the Q&A section. If you got any last questions, post them and send them in right now before we're done here and before I can do my announcement. So. By the way, DC Revelations 9.3 just came out on YouTube. Okay. Alright, so we're going to end this in about 5 minutes so you guys can start going ahead and watching Revelations 3. We'll end this in 5 minutes so you guys can go ahead and watch it. Just answer some last questions here. Capcom. Yeah, fuck Capcom. Gonna make me pay DLC for just some Street Fighter 5 attires? You can go fuck yourself. Excited for the third season of Attack on Titan? Of course I am. I shared it on my Facebook page. Yeah, of course. I'm excited. We're getting it next year. We're getting it next year. We don't have to wait 4 more fucking years for another season of Attack on Titan. We're getting it next season, next year. In July 2018, I believe. So I'm hyped. What are your thoughts on Black Clover anime and the early criticisms it's been getting? I have not been able to catch Black Clover yet. I will eventually. I eventually will. What's going on, D-Wall? I'm gonna end the streaming of bits so everybody can go ahead and watch Revelations 3. I will be watching as well. Black Clover, I haven't watched it yet, but I have heard the criticisms. It could be just anime fans over-exaggerating because it's not Naruto or whatever. But I will check it out and I will let you know if it's valid or not. Let's put it that way. Any future ACW and GWM team-up projects? Stay tuned. Okay, quick question so I can keep my streak going. What's up? I'm fine. I mean, last night was high voltage. The live stream was hot. It was lit, boy. High voltage was fun to put together and watch with you guys live. Just having a little chill stream here with the newscast, except for that WWE rant. I apologize for that, but it had to be said. But yeah, I'm good. I'm fine. Thank you for asking. Death Battle is doing Ichigo versus Naruto. Who do you think will win? It's gonna be Naruto. I mean, I'm not gonna argue anyone that would say Ichigo. You probably could be right, but it'll end up being Naruto just because. But people need to understand that these death battles, it's all for popularity. It's not really like technical and shit. Like I go to obscure YouTube channels if I want to find out who would actually win in a fight. I don't go to popular shit like Death Battle that would just pick out of popularity and necessity. I don't do that. Lost as hell. Who is coming to ACW? I don't know. I mean, did I make a hint or something? I don't know. Um, as much as Haru made history last night, can we talk about how Zugu can make history too if he's able to win the Impulse title? Yeah, he would be the. I believe he would be the first person to win the Excel and Impulse title. Should he eventually win the Impulse title at some point, he would be the first ever ACW superstar to win the Excel and Impulse title. That would be a monumental moment for Zuko and the company. Absolutely. Um, Advice to anyone that wants to start a call league. Yeah, okay. I get this question frequently, so you're not the first and you won't be the last. But for me personally, um, what I would say is that if you want to do a call league, first things first, you have to get a capture card or a video game system that can record your league. You have to do that. I know I'm talking as somebody that used to start off with ACW doing, recording it with the camera, but that was 2006, that was 2007, that was when you can get away with that on YouTube. It's 2017, you can't do that anymore on YouTube. The standards have been raised, so you have to invest in a capture card or a video capture system. Number two, be different, but don't be different for the sake of being different. Be different to where you can have fun and still be unique in your own way. I'm going to bring up one league in particular, ACL. ACL is different in its own way to where it reminds me a little bit about of early ACW where I would always get the known characters, but I would also get unknown characters as well that the mainstream audience may not know, and I would clash them together. A lot of people didn't know Haru Glory by 2006, even with Rave Masters out, right, in the manga and all that. But once I started using Haru Glory, now everybody knows who everybody knows who Haru Glory is through watching Rave Masters or even just watching ACW. They know who Haru Glory is now. And I see the same thing happening with Juri Sonata too. Juri Sonata, everyone knows about Want to Be the Strongest of the World, sure, but Juri Sonata wasn't even a main character on that show. She was just kind of a background character for the most part. But now that SCA used her, and then eventually I used her, now you see other leagues like DCA using her. People now know the name of Juri Sonata. That's what I do. That's how I'm able to make things happen in that sense. And my third thing would be to simply have fun. CAW is always about having fun. The second you stop having fun in CAW is the second you have to leave because it becomes a chore. Once you stop having fun in CAW, it starts to become a chore to where you have no soul, figuratively speaking. You have no soul to do what you used to love. That's when you get out of it and stop. But yeah, that would be my advice for you. Get a good, even a decent one. There's the cheapest ones are like what, $30 to $45, maybe on Amazon or eBay or whatever. There are cheap capture cards and video captures out there for you. So invest in a capture card. Be unique in your own sense and have fun. That's what I would always tell people when it comes to asking that question. Let's see. What are your thoughts about the preview of Dragon Ball Super Episode 114? I have not seen the preview, although I hear there was a female fusion that happened, I think, recently or whatever. Or was that in the preview? I don't know. I haven't even watched the latest episode of Dragon Ball Super. I kind of fell off into the whole universe arc that's been happening, so I'll check that out as soon as I can. Let's see here. I knew about Haru Glory through TNXA. Yeah, well, um, yeah, alright, that seems like that's all the questions for now. Okay, that's fine. Thank you guys very much for the Q&A of this section here for ACW's Newscast number 88. I appreciate it. As always, if you want to send a question or just even leave a comment during this portion of the newscast, just join the live stream when we do it, or if you just can't make for the live stream, you can probably post it when I do post a newscast status. I didn't do one for this newscast. I'll probably do one for the next newscast. I'll post a newscast status so you can ask all your questions on Facebook and I'll answer them. You can also ask those questions on Twitter as well. Now, before you guys leave, because usually this is where I sign off, I did say I had an announcement that I wanted to make ACW related. So it's pretty cool. First things first, I do have another announcement that I'm going to make next week, even as early as tomorrow. Either tomorrow or Tuesday is where I'll make the announcement, so stay tuned for that. It's going to be just as big as this one. But anyways, the big announcement basically is, well, we're going back to the UK, baby! That's right, we're going back to the UK this season for ACW. It's the British Invasion Tour. By the way, that's me. I was the one that made that logo, just for those that want to ask. But we are going to be doing the British Invasion Tour coming up this season for ACW. I had fun doing it last season. A lot of you guys had fun with it last season, so we decided to bring it back. We're going to be touring the UK. Both brands of Excel and Impulse will be in the UK area, and that'll be during the hype, I believe, of Anime Revolution this season, so it'll be pretty much near the end of the season that we'll be doing the British Invasion Tour, I believe. We do have the schedules for both Excel and Impulse, so let's just get into those right now. On the Excel side, right, we've got the tour dates for that, so make sure you guys mark it down wherever you want to mark it down. But here we go, right? So, Excel number 93 will be at the SSE Hydro down in Glasgow, Scotland. Glasgow, Scotland. Gotta work on my Scotland accent. Excel 94 will be at the National Indoor Arena in Birmingham, England. Excel 95 will be at the Genting Arena in Birmingham, England as well. And then the tour for Excel will end at Excel 96 for the Phones for You Arena in Manchester, England. So that will be Excel. All the Excel talents will be there, like the new Excel champion Haru Glory, Akuma, Ichigo, Cammy from the UK, obviously, Revi, Joe Agashi, the television champion. A lot more people from the Excel side of things will be there. So make sure you guys get those tour dates marked down, because it's going to be a bumpy ride for Excel. And then also, for the Impulse side of things, they've got their tour dates as well. Impulse number 98 will be at Windsor Park at Belfast, Northern Ireland. Not Ireland, Northern Ireland. There's a difference. Trust me. Impulse number 99 will be at the Hallam FM Arena in Sheffield, England. So that'll be pretty fun there for the Sheffield crowd. And then Impulse will be celebrating their 100th episode at the Wembley Arena, the famous Wembley Arena in London, England, which is where the famous SummerSlam 92 event happened. The main event between Bret Hart and the British Bulldog for the Intercontinental title. So that's where it will be held at. Impulse number 100 we'll be celebrating our 100th episode in the UK. It'll be at London, England, the Wembley Arena. And Impulse number 101. Impulse 101 will be at the O2 Arena in London, England. So that is your tour dates for Impulse. All the Impulse stars that you see there: Impulse champion Sasuke Uchiha, Naruto Uzumaki, Trunks, Monkey D. Luffy, Eren Yeager, Zuko, and a lot more people will be a part of that tour. So there you have it. Excel and Impulse will be back for the British Invasion Tour during the build for Anime Revolution as we lead to Animania 5 during that period. So make sure you guys mark that down. And yeah, as people are saying on the chat, yeah, 100 episodes of Impulse. Yeah, 100 episodes of Impulse. It's been a fun ride. It's been a really fun ride. I'm surprised we even got that far with Impulse. You know, and Excel will also be celebrating their 100th episode during the end of the season as well. It just won't be in the UK. But I do plan on having some special things in the works. I'll tell you this right now: Impulse number 100 will be a supersized edition. It will be like a mini mega event. Let's put it that way. I do have a lot of special things planned. I have certain special appearances scheduled for that, so you can take your guesses as to who those could be, but they will be there. So yeah, that's going to be fun. That'll be fun. Excel and Impulse at the UK for the UK British Invasion Tour. So that was the announcement. I will have one more announcement either tomorrow or Tuesday. It will be just as equally great as this. So you guys may want to be able to stick around for that as well. But until then, it is 6:12 here in the West Coast. DCA Revelations 3 is out right now, so I want everybody, once you're done with this newscast, I want everybody to go to the DCA channel on YouTube and go right now and watch DCA Revelations 3 right now as I'm about to end this newscast. So, thank you all for joining me for the ACW Newscast once again. I appreciate it. Number 80, the 80th episode of the newscast. It'll be interesting to see what I do for the 100th episode of the newscast. But with that said, that'll be it for me today. I want to thank everybody for joining us on this aftermath of High Voltage Newscast edition. I don't know when the next newscast will be, but I'll figure that out. Yeah, and we will have a lot of content for ACW fans all throughout this week, not just Excel and Impulse. I think we're probably going to have a new ACW 10 Rewind. We'll probably have a new ACW webisode for you guys as well, and a lot of other things. But anyways, that'll be it. Everybody head to the DCA Revelations 3. I will be checking that out right now as well. Until then, I am Hakeem Johnson, telling everybody to stay cool. Stay cool. See you guys later.